This is part 2 of the series How to Ace Your Next Interview. In the last video, part 1, we went over how to do some research using AI before a phone screen and how to answer the question, tell me about yourself. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to talk about salary, how to talk about compensation, how to answer the question, what are your salary expectations? Which is such an awkward question. Who wants to talk about money when you're first meeting somebody in the first 5 minutes? How much money do you want from us? All right, before I tell you how to answer this question in the best, most smooth way, I want you to know that you as a job seeker will get the job if you can demonstrate properly that you'll be a good ROI, a good return on investment for the company that's hiring you. If you're getting jobs that are paying $120,000 a year, a company needs to believe at its core that you will either make them more money than that every year or save them more money than that every year. If you can demonstrate that that's you and you have somewhat of a personality, you'll get the job, I promise. A lot of people go through interviews describing, I did this for my job, I have these skills, I did this. If you can turn it around and convince the person that you will help the company solve their problems, you are the solution to the company's issues, you will help the company and the department and the team overcome obstacles and challenges, don't make it about you. Make it about the company and how their problems will become a little bit smaller, bringing you onto the team. Now, that said, when a recruiter in an initial phone screen interview asks you, what are your salary expectations? What I always like to say is, and we're playing a game of tennis here, hitting the ball back over the net. Good question. I'm open to negotiation. It's really important for me that I find the right fit. More important than pay, do you have a budget you're working with? Now, some people might say that the first rule of negotiation is never to name the first number, or he who brings up money first loses. Whatever you believe, I want them to say a number first, because if I'm thinking in my head, all right, I want $100,000 for this job. If they were gonna offer 110, they've already gotten me on sale. I've just lost $10,000 a year. That's about $1,000 a month before tax. So I'd rather them say a number first in case my number that I had in my mind was a little bit lower, then I'm gonna get paid more. So sometimes get out of your own way, get your foot out of your mouth, and don't be saying the first number. That's not to say that you should not go to salary.com and glassdoor.com to look at reviews of what people are paying. Like we talked about in the last video, you can also use Perplexity AI to ask, what is the average salary of a data analyst level 3 in Minneapolis, Minnesota in the medical industry? Right, such a specific question. But Perplexity will tell you, here is the average. Here is the sources that I use to get that information. This is how we can leverage AI in our job search. So let's say you say that phrase to the recruiter and they say, well, we don't have a budget, just tell us a number. All right, try not to be the first one to name a number, but if you absolutely must, you've already done your research on salary.com and Glassdoor and Perplexity, so you know that this job in this area, in this industry, with your levels of experience, usually pays from $110,000 to $130,000 a year. What you can say, and I want you to pay attention to these words very carefully, the word choice matters. What you can say is, I'm currently interviewing at companies that are advertising $110,000 to $130,000 a year. Then stop talking. Let's talk about the word choices you're using here. I'm currently interviewing at companies. You are subconsciously making the recruiter think that you are a highly sought after hot commodity. You got to go in 20 minutes because you got your next interview. You are top talent, they want you. If somebody else wants you, maybe there will be a bidding war. All right. When you're also saying this, I am interviewing at companies that are offering, instead of saying, oh, I'm looking for 110 to, you don't want to be searching for something. You want to make the recruiter think that these things are coming to you, not that you're going after these things. It's such a subtle difference. But it matters. Word choice matters, especially in psychology, especially in the psychology of interviewing. All right, so that is the answer to the question, tell me what your salary expectations are. Again, this is part 2 in the new series, How to Ace Your Next Interview. Make sure you turn into part 3. I'm gonna go film it right now.